They go on to demonize. It goes on and on. But you got to love it. They've put us in this position. They're defaulting on the debt by devaluing. The country's falling apart. We're in a depression. And they sit up there and lie to their viewers and try to blame it on anybody that tries to set the country back on the right course. They're going to hold this nation hostage. The Federal Reserve's the second biggest owner. They're about to become the biggest owner. They're making that announcement today.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Calben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used pure soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Calben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
Okay, we're going to your phone calls. But I first just want to be specific about this. When the Federal Reserve creates hundreds of thousands of billions of false debt that they can buy things up with and then leaves us holding the bag and is raising our taxes to pay it off and is now monetizing the debt and openly devaluing the dollar, that rips off everyone that's invested in dollars, including American citizens that have money in the bank. And it makes the cost of living go up. And it makes your Social Security not go as far. They've already frozen the COLA. And they think you're stupid. And there's this religion by fake liberals that to go, look at this Republican, he's stupid, he doesn't know what the minimum wage is. And it's like this cult of feeling smart and knowing everything. It's just pure idiocy. And there's been this Republican cult of there's no world government, there's no private Federal Reserve, there's no banking cartel. Kooks talk about that. We have a kook detector, and anybody that talks about it is a nutball. If patriot ideas would have not been suppressed in the last 20 years, we'd never be here. But now we're here. People have seen that we've been right. They're waking up in droves. They're waking up big time. Now, I want to go to your phone calls, but I didn't ever get to this yesterday. And then we're going to your calls right into the next hour for everybody that is patiently holding. But we've got a video clip of a television commercial that Citizens Against Government Waste has been deemed too controversial by major networks, including ABC, A&E, and the History Channel, and will not be shown on those channels. The commercial is a homage to a 1986 ad that was entitled The Deficit Trials, which was also banned because major networks apparently telling the truth about the national debt is a little too hot for the major networks to handle. Now, this is set in 2030. It shouldn't be offensive. The truth is the ad does not even have anything in it that should be offensive. The commercial is set in the year 2030, and the main character is a Chinese professor. They actually have Chinese professors now and government heads that talk like this. The Chinese professor is seen lecturing his students on the fall of great empires as images of the United States are shown on a screen behind him. The Chinese professor tells his students the following about the behavior of great empires. They all make the same mistakes, turning their backs on the principles that made them great. America tried to spend and tax itself out of the Great Recession, enormous so-called stimulus spending, massive changes to health care, government takeover of private industries, and crushing debt. He goes on to say, of course, we own most of their debt, so now they work for us. It's a very well-done ad, and unless you speak Chinese, you won't understand it, but I'm going to play it. I've already read to you the text, and the Chinese students laugh at the end of it. Well, it's the Federal Reserve and the international bankers that made these deals with China 20 years ago to deindustrialize us, to put tariffs and taxes on us here so we couldn't have jobs, but no tariffs and taxes in China. And they positioned us, and now the Federal Reserve is set within just 4 months, the Wall Street Journal estimates, with QE2 monetizing debt, buying our debt, to be bigger owners than the communist Chinese. So the communist Chinese, with the private banks, have positioned us to be debtor slaves to own us. So we work for them through fraud. That's why all your taxes, state, local, federal, are going up. It's why these big central banks are calling for the new global currency that you got to pay a national VAT tax to them on and carbon taxes on. This is where we're already at, basically, unless we say no to the fraud and no to this banking system. It's not in 2030. The Chinese are already talking like this. Here it is.
为什么强大的国家都会走向灭亡呢？古希腊、罗马帝国、不列颠帝国、美国，因为他们都犯同样的错误，与原来使得他们成功的原则背道而驰。美国政府企图以庞大的开支和税收来摆脱严重的经济衰退，巨额的所谓刺激开支。 庞大的医疗改革，政府接管私有企业，债务累累。当然，我们是他们的大债主。现在他们都得给我们干活。
So now they work for us.
You can change the future. You have to. Join Citizens Against Government Waste to stop the spending that is bankrupting America.
And we're going to get them on next week. That's a great ad. We need to see more of that. And that's, nonpartisan. It just covers the facts. So I've said it. I've covered it. I want to take a bunch of your calls. Then next hour, I'm plunging into all the latest election news. And did Harry Reid steal Nevada? Was the governorship stolen in Colorado from Tom Tancredo? There's evidence on all of those major fronts. We've got another report here out of CBS News. Large majority of candidates Sarah Palin backed won. Do results make her more likely to seek GOP presidential nod? Well, there's a reason she's in Iowa every other week. Palin emerges with even more clout. And yes, they're positioning her to run with Rick Perry. That's inside baseball. I told you that a year ago. Now they're openly talking about it here in Austin, where Perry's at, on the news. And Perry told the AP 2 days ago, don't be surprised if I'm only governor for 2 years of my 4-year term. He's got a book out called Fed Up. They are positioning them big time. All right. Cabrone, John, Damon, Ray, Morgan, and others, we're going to your calls right now. We'll take a lot of calls, so when you hear one of these callers hang up, it's your chance to call in. 800-259-9231. Have you had any election problems, or what your take is on all this, what you think of the election fraud? Cabrone, you're on the air from Kansas. Welcome.
Thank you, Alex.
Welcome.
First, I'd like to say, yes, thank you. First, I'd like to say thank you and your team for being such factual reporters. It's very rare you find that. The second thing is, on a website I found about a voter fraud in California where Bill Clinton is sending out letters to illegal immigrants, and with a P.S. below, it says, below that letter is a P.S. that explains, here is your personal voter identification card. Sign your name, then detach your card. Bring your card with you to your polling place on Election Day. It will help you and your voting go more smooth. And this person is not a registered voter and is an illegal immigrant.
We know in Arizona and other places, federal courts ruled illegal aliens can vote. They don't need any identification, any proof of citizenship. So we know this is going on. I haven't seen what you're talking about. Can you send it to showtips at Infowars.com right now? And we'll. What's the headline on the article?
I actually sent it in to you guys, and I got the ticket number. If you guys want to pull that ticket number up, you can go right to it.
Sure, give me the ticket number.
All right. Let me get it pulled up here.
Hey, look, it's just easier. Just give me the headline on the article.
Okay. Well, the ticket number is 224886. Let me get the article pulled up again.
It's 224886?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
The article is from World Net Daily, and it's called Voter Fraud Again by Joseph Farah, Between the Lines.
Yeah, well, that's credible then. They're pretty credible when it comes to reporting on election stuff. Voter fraud again, Joseph Farah. We'll pull it up right now. That is just outrageous if that's true. Anything else, sir?
No, I'd like I said, thank you all for everything you've done for us.
Well, no, thank you. We're all in this together. People always thank me. Why? Oh, by the way, we do try to be accurate, and we're accurate, I'd say 95% of the time. But all the time when I listen to rebroadcast, I hear things I say that I know are incorrect. It's because all these facts, all these figures, or maybe somebody's walking in, handing me a piece of, news, and I just get things wrong. Yesterday I said silver. See, just did it again. Silver is, I don't have a teleprompter, okay? Silver was at its all-time high of $25 and change. That's because I was reading a headline, silver breaks all-time high in 30 years since 1980. That was the second greatest high. For a short period, it went to 50. But its next high, and for like a day or two, its next high was 25 and change. So it did break its next to greatest record. And then I'm listening to a rebroadcast. I just happened to click on it for 5 minutes to listen. I kind of spot-checked the show at night. And I was like, well, that's wrong. It went to 50. So got to correct myself on that front. And if you do hear us say something that's wrong, we want you to email us or call us, because I want to correct myself. Just like I tried to say silver, I said gold. I mean, it's just, I don't have teleprompters. I mean, I'm here with all the news, the info for 3 hours, some days 4 or 5 hours live. Sometimes we go into overdrive. And we get things wrong sometimes, but we always correct it when we find it. Let's talk to John in Texas. John, thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
You know, yesterday we got a glimmer of hope, but we can never forget that the power structure that murdered 3,000 people at the World Trade Center without batting an eye is still there. And the more that their power is threatened, the more dangerous they're going to become.
Well, that's right, and Anwar al-Awlaki, Fox News, the head of al-Qaeda, number 3 to bin Laden, now number 1, was dining secretly at the Pentagon 2 months after 9/11 when he was on the news as the spiritual leader of al-Qaeda, and he's been behind every other major terror attack, and we know these terror attacks have been staged to take our rights and our liberties, and it's admitted that over 90% of the Homeland Security training and funding is for the American people, gun owners, conservatives, returning veterans, libertarians, Ron Paul. And so, yes, Homeland Security has nothing to do with stopping Muslim extremists. Go ahead.
And, Alex, we can never forget about the politicians that crossed paths with the New World Order before and what happened. John Kennedy, Larry McDonald,